Hi my loves, and welcome to another video on my channel. In this video I want to talk about the concepts of post-traumatic growth and the stress response tend and befriend. It's been a couple of weeks of so-and-so here. Last week I actually posted a video in Swedish about the online program that I just released today, July 1st, which is all about the inner shift, and I've been working really focused on getting that ready, so that's why I haven't been here as frequently. And this is actually also my last video before I take a summer break, and I'll be back again in August. I want to walk the talk, and recharging and focusing on other stuff is so important. And also I want to pour my creative energy into one specific project that I am longing to get started with, and I'll probably tell you more about that in the fall. So the first half of 2020 have been challenging for most of us in different ways, and I think whether you have had more to do than usual or less to do, I think it might have created some extra stress. And for some, it has actually been a trauma, or you're actually going through some sort of trauma due to the current world situations or for other reasons in your personal life. I came across the idea of post-traumatic growth years ago. I think it was in a podcast or something I heard about it. And I think it's a very interesting concept that is helpful to bear in mind when we go through challenging times. Most of us have heard about post-traumatic stress, or PTSD, which I think was discovered after men coming back from war and feeling really, really bad and not being able to deal with their ordinary life as they came back and getting really sick from PTSD. But research has actually showed that there's also this thing called post-traumatic growth, that we can actually grow through crisis, through trauma, through challenging times. So I dug a bit deeper into this concept of trying to understand what is the difference between the people that go into a post-traumatic stress response or that can actually bridge over to post-traumatic growth. And there are some common themes that I think is interesting to just know about in your own life, whether you are going through a challenging time or not. But just know that these factors might help you grow better from intense events in your life, as opposed to growing bitter, which is a quite harsh way to put it, because I think we're all doing the best we can, and we have definitely a lot of different circumstances and conditions around us and privilege to deal with difficult times. But one of the main factors for being able to go into post-traumatic growth is social support. We know that relationships are so important. And the last thing we want to do when we feel bad is to isolate. And this is also where the tend and befriend idea comes in, which is this idea that there isn't only the fight, flight, or freeze response to stress. There is also this response that is called tend and befriend. It is historically more seen in women than in men, which means that if you're under pressure, you tend to the offspring, you tend to the vulnerable, you stay with the pack, you don't run away on your own. And for example, if you're a woman pregnant or with a small child, it's not very likely that you will win a fight, so you better tend and befriend instead. Stay within the social group and take care of the small or the vulnerable. And this stress response actually releases a lot of oxytocin, which is a feel-good hormone that is also good for our overall well-being and our health. But I think this links to the post-traumatic growth and the social support system to actually choose to respond to stress or to a trauma by reaching out, by deepening our relationships, by asking for help, by showing vulnerability, by staying close to the people that we love and the people that love us, by showing care for others when we have the capacity to do so. When you feel helpless, help someone. It goes well hand in hand with this as well. So social support is a big thing when it comes to post-traumatic growth. Another important factor is acceptance. The better you are at accepting things for what they are and not staying in the gap between what you think like your life should look like and what it actually looks like, this is where suffering comes in. You might be in a painful situation and you need to feel the pain, you need to grieve, you need to take care of all the emotion that shows up in this trauma for you. But if you're always fighting reality by having expectations of reality to be something different, then you're resisting reality. You need to close this gap by accepting things for what they are. First, when you are in reality and accept things for having happened or for happening in your life right now, that's when you can move into post-traumatic growth or actually grow better from this situation. Another important thing that I just mentioned is also the ability to feel your feelings, to allow yourself to grieve, to be angry, to be sad, to be confused, to be frustrated, to be anything you need to be in response to what happened or what is happening. Feeling the feelings and not suppressing them is so crucial when it comes to moving to the next step, which might be post-traumatic growth, growing from what you've gone through. Another important component is also the ability to appreciate what you have, which is gratitude. The ability to see what is actually working and to focus some of your attention onto that as well. Because even if it feels like your life is falling apart, not everything is falling apart. If you're breathing, if your heart is beating, if the ground is still beneath you, you are ultimately alive and you are okay in this moment. Being able to appreciate that and see all the blessings that are still in your life will also help you move into growth. And the last component that I want to mention here is spirituality. The research actually shows that it's easier to move into growth, post-traumatic growth, instead of post-traumatic stress, if you choose to believe that there is a meaning to what you've gone through, that someone is taking care of you, that you are carried through this life, that there is a bigger picture that you might not see right now, but it is there. So the 5 components that I mentioned when it comes to post-traumatic growth and actually growing better from difficult situations are all things that you can actually work on. They are qualities that you can take active steps to developing. Social support and your relationships. The ability to accept what has happened, even if you didn't like it. The ability to feel your feelings and allow them, also accepting them for what they are, letting them move through you and not suppressing them so that they get stuck and become part of your setup or your personality. You don't want that. You want them to move through you. You want to acknowledge them and you want to feel them and letting them pass. The 4th component being gratitude, the ability to appreciate what is actually working in your life today, no matter what you've been through. And the 5th component is spirituality, choosing to see that there is a meaning, that you are held, and that the bigger picture is out there. You will connect the dots looking backwards. I really hope this helps as an input to your own personal growth and to you making sense out of what you're going through, what you've gone through. There is growth in every situation and you can choose to go there. As I said, I will take a break now for a couple of weeks, but I'll see you back here in August. I wish you a beautiful summer, and I hope that the content that I've made so far can inspire you a bit further And don't hesitate to look into my website or read any of my articles on there, or follow me on Instagram if you want more inspiration. I will likely be there a lot this summer, even though I'm slowing down in many other parts. And if you understand Swedish, check out my new online program, Det inre skiftet. I wish you a beautiful rest of the week. Bye.